Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Tanya Smith, and this is Get Noticed with Video Live. I'm super thrilled that I get to be here with you. We're here like clockwork every Thursday, same time, same channel. Here's the thing, this is the question we're going to answer tonight, and I want to talk a little bit about, and we may even do like a little mini training session here. Let's talk about personal branding. How well do your videos support the personal brand or the brand for your business that you're trying to create? This is the question we're going to answer tonight. If you have a pen and a notepad, and if you have questions and comments you want to share, this is interactive. So I'm looking forward to connecting with you and talking more about branding. Our topic for tonight is 3 tips to refine your video brand. So I'm going to give you time to go grab yourself something, a sip of water or coffee or whatever your favorite drink is, and we'll be right back to dive into the content. All right, everybody, again, welcome back. This is Tanya Smith. I am Tanya Smith with Get Noticed with Video. We are broadcasting in multiple places. As some of you may know, we've been broadcasting live now for a couple of years almost, consistently like clockwork, because my goal is simply to help you to simplify on-camera content so that you can serve more people and sell more of your services. I love and enjoy the most working with women who are coaches, consultants, and course creators. So I am thrilled to bring to you the topic of personal branding because it does matter. No matter what business you're in, really your personal brand, it affects how people trust, like, and plan to buy from you, right? And the thing about video as it relates to this particular topic is that social media video has become a really powerful way to build your brand online. So we need to talk about this. Let me go ahead and give a shout out, first of all, to folks that are in my community, because I know that I have some of the people from my amazing online space. I also see I have family here as well. Good to see you there. I am really spending a lot of time with my incredible group, as well as with the folks who are in my space in the coaching sphere. And so we're going to talk a little bit about an upcoming program, and I'll share that with you here probably towards the end. But an upcoming program that may help you to really expand your thinking around branding as it relates to video, because it does matter no matter what type of content you are actually playing with, no matter what space or platform you're in. Right now, we're broadcasting in multiple places. We're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, as well as in multiple Facebook spaces. And in every place that we play online, branding does matter. So I want to talk a little bit about this. And if you happen to be part of my amazing Video VIPs community, I want you to give me a shout out real quick. If you're new and this is the first time that you've ever watched a video that we've done on any of those spaces, type in hashtag newbie. And if you've been around the block and you've seen me before, type in hashtag OG. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'll be scanning to see if you have questions and comments as we go. But I do have some prepared content that I want to share with you because I want to make sure that you have exactly what you need to start thinking about how to refine your own personal brand. That's what we want to talk about tonight. So let me go ahead and put in there, and that's Marcia, one of my OGs is in the house. Good to see you. And I also see someone who is watching in the group. Now, if you are a new user, you're a new community member, we'll say that. I hate the term user. If you're a new community member in the Video VIPs, and let me go ahead and put that up here, then make sure that you go ahead and give Restream permission so that I can acknowledge you personally, because I love to do that. It's one of my favorite things to do. Again, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about branding, and so I'm going to dive into some tips to help you to refine your video brand. That's specifically what we're going to talk about. One last thing before we get started into that. I want to make sure to share with you, especially for those of you who are in my spaces, whether it's Instagram or on Facebook, LinkedIn. I want you to know what we have coming up. So I have 3 things that I want to share real quick. So I'm scanning to make sure I don't miss a thing. The first one is we have a free book club. This book club is going to focus on, and we've done this a couple of times actually throughout the last year. I think we did one maybe 3 or 4 months ago that was excellent on the book called The Visual Sale. And we got so many nuggets from that discussion. This one is going to be on the art of speaking in front of the camera. So I'm actually kind of excited about this because a lot of folks that have approached me, whether you're part of my community or not, you've talked about the challenge of really presenting yourself in a confident and professional manner when it comes to being on camera. So we're going to have some candid discussion about this book. We're going to read 5 chapters at a time over 3 weeks, starting next Tuesday. If you're interested and you want to participate, you can certainly do that. You just need to be a member of our Video VIPs community. There is no fee for this, but I wanted to let you know that we do start on next Tuesday and you want to give yourself time to get the book. So the next thing I will share with you is that we also tomorrow, if you're in the community, we have our Video VIPs office hours, which we've kind of gone to like once a month now at this point. But tomorrow I'll be in the community answering questions and talking to you about social trends as they relate to video and content strategy in general. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. So we need to talk about that. We need to talk about stories and shorts and fleets and this snack size marketing when it comes to video that can really, really just triple the audience size that you have if you're just starting out or if you are not a newbie to video. So we need to talk about that. And then third and finally, I'll share just a little bit of information, some teaser info about a new program that we're going to deliver. It's a preview of a larger coaching program that I'm going to be delivering in June. June 7th is when we start. I'm only selecting up to 5 people. And really my ideal number is 3. So we're going to do a preview so that if you're thinking, hey, maybe I want to do something like really essential to put together a video marketing strategy over 90 days, this preview on May 15th will be right for you. Some of the stuff I'm going to talk about tonight will be delivered at a deeper level in the May 15th training. So keep listening and watching for that info. All right. Are we ready to dive in? Let me say hello to a few more people that have shown up. Awesome. There's my friend, Michelle. I just love it. I love it when I see some amazing, incredible people. Yes, ma'am, from Baltimore, Maryland in the house, and Stacy as well. And here's my buddy, Robert Kennedy, who has his own live stream show, and it is amazing. He uses Ecamm, I believe, Robert. Am I right? And he's also on LinkedIn. So definitely pop your show in the links. Anybody who has a show right now, and I know several of you that do, Shannon, it's wonderful to see you, ma'am. Anybody that has a show, if you have a show, pop that into the comments so I can make sure to give you a shout out before we're done tonight, okay? Because I want to make sure that I support others that are in this live stream community. We are all going to have each other's backs. Because here's the thing, there is space for each and every one of us to be great. That's what I want to talk about when it comes to this personal branding idea and what this means for you and for your business. I'm going to give you some examples. We're going to talk it through. And if you have questions or comments, don't hesitate to put that into the chat. Okay, wherever you are, because I'm taking a look right now. All right. And Michelle says she's in the group right now. Awesome. All right. So let's dive in. And here's what I want to do. I want to talk, first of all, about the definition of branding, right? And I want to share with you that there can be a ton. Like if you ask someone what personal branding is right now, you will get probably a good 100 or so answers. So I want us all to kind of start on the same place, be on the same playing field as we're talking through the rest of the concepts that I'm going to share with you. Okay. Because again, the topic tonight is what? The topic is we're talking about 3 tips to refine your video brand. So I want to talk about branding in the space that we play, which is video marketing. But some of these concepts I'm going to share with you tonight also apply to other spaces where you are making an impact and making an impression. Okay. Here's the thing about branding, and I learned this a long time ago because I actually started out as a branding and marketing coach. And what I realized is that while you can certainly create an impact and intentionally, right, start moving people in a certain direction as to how to perceive you, ultimately, whether you try or not, you're creating a brand. If you put yourself out there, if you're marketing your business, if you own a business, you are creating a reputation. There's a perception that people have of you, right? And about you. So the best thing you can possibly do is to take the reins and be intentional about creating that perception instead of just allowing it to form on its own. You want to operate fully 100%, 110% in your gifts and showcase who you truly are, right? Because that's what makes the connection with the audience that you are destined to serve. Now, is this my opinion? Yes, it is, but I believe that it's fact because we've seen it. And I'm going to share some examples with you that I think you'll be able to identify with as we talk through this thing. Now, basically, when it comes to brands, I love that Kendall Summerhawk, one of my mentors and someone who is just a wonderful person, she said this. She said, awesome brands become a movement. Never did I get that more than within the past few years. Because here's the thing, as you put yourself out into the world and you showcase who you really are, what your values are, what your set of unique experiences are, what you talk about, the things you talk about, and the way you talk about them, all of that becomes a part of your brand, right? Every single piece of that is a part of your personal brand. It is what either helps people to qualify to work with you, or it helps them to qualify themselves out of your circle, out of your community. And you need to get comfortable with that. There have been a lot of uncomfortable moments I've seen personally, no matter what the space, a lot of uncomfortable moments I've seen where people they portray themselves to be a certain way, and yet some of the posts and the comments and the things and the statements that they're sharing are showing them to be a different person. So what I encourage and invite you to do is to be fully who you are at all times. It matters for your sanity. It matters because you're then aligned with your purpose. And it matters because it's going to determine who decides to spend time in your space. So being honest and being truthful about that is going to be so important. But I love that quote that she shared. When we're talking about branding as it relates to video, it is incorporating, your brand is incorporating a ton of different things. It's incorporating your background, right? People get to know me and my videos, my live streams, because of the space that I've created. And I was very intentional about this. And I've shared videos about how I actually came to this place because I didn't start here. I was doing a lot of virtual backgrounds and I was doing some other kind of janky backgrounds, right? Let's be real. But over time, I developed who I really wanted to be and how I wanted to be perceived, and how I wanted to create a space that was inviting to those that I wanted to talk to. And so I even had someone yesterday that mentioned, every time I see your colors, I know that it's you. She said, every time I see a raspberry pink, I think of you, right? And that was really cool because I thought, okay, well, it's working. The repetitiveness of the way that I show up on camera can determine how people know, like, and trust who you are. And they see you as something and someone who is reliable, right? They know what they're going to get when they come to you. They know when they're looking out in the social space, they recognize you. And the more recognizable you are, and the more you create that reputation for yourself through your branding, the better it is for you, because the more likely people are going to want to invest in an expanded, extended experience with you. They want to buy into your programs, your services, your courses, etc. Right? Even if they don't know you and have not met you personally. Think about it. For some of you, just think about the last time you showed up at a physical event. And maybe it was a year or maybe it was longer, because I know with COVID and everything, a lot of us have been home, but think about the last time you were at an event and someone recognized you because of the things that you've shared or done on social media. So it's real. You truly can impact and affect your branding. But there are three things that we want to be thinking about, and this is what I'm going to share with you in just a second. Um, let me pull up my screen. I'm going to show you something real fast here. And I do see some shows in the comments, so I'll make sure to definitely give you a shout out here shortly. Let's do this. I'm going to showcase my new shirt. This is a shirt that I'm wearing actually right now, but I wanted to make sure to show it to you. Even the t-shirts and the clothing you wear can say something about who you are. What I decided to invest in over the COVID quarantine period, I started supporting a lot of t-shirts and clothing artists who were creating statements that I felt were positive, that were empowering for my children. I have two daughters, that were empowering for the people around me, and they gave me an uplift. So even when it comes to the type of clothing you wear, that can be a part of your brand, right? All right, so here's what I want to do. We're going to dive into the three pieces, and then I'm going to showcase a couple of other things. Yes, and Nicolette said that happened to you at the farm. Yeah, people start recognizing you because of the things that you're sharing, the content you're sharing. You may not have even met them before. And I know that's what you're talking about, Nicolette, because I know that's happening to you. So here's number one. Let's talk about number one to really refining your video brand. The first thing is to get clear on the message you're sharing and on your mastery. What is it that you're saying you're the expert in? One thing, if I haven't really, I've seen a lot of things, good, positive things come out of Clubhouse. I really have. And as a result of connecting with my friend Mike Wayne, who is another amazing, incredible human being, and a bunch of people that are in that space, what I have discovered is that there is absolutely something new and wonderful that is happening in that space. And I see it bleeding over into other social platforms too. And it's this, that people are getting really crystal clear about who they are and who they want to say that they are. They're speaking their name. We talked a little bit about this in last week's live stream. They're saying their name. They're saying, I am the person who does X, right? Another amazing woman, Stacy, who shares herself to be the operator on the Clubhouse space. She is known as the operator. She is known as the person who is the voice that introduces people on panels and on virtual stages throughout Clubhouse. So people are declaring who they are, and they're saying, this is what I'm a master at. I master this particular topic of expertise. I am really wonderful and incredible at doing this. I'm amazing at delivering this solution. So one thing I can absolutely tell you that is going to be key for you as you think about your brand and refining your brand, especially when it comes to video. And I'm going to share with you why in just a second. But one of the reasons why this is so important is because when it comes to video, and especially platforms like YouTube, what you want to make sure you're doing is you want to be clear on the trends of what you're talking about. Why? In other words, you want to know, or YouTube's algorithm is going to be looking to see, okay, is this person talking about cats one day and then politics the next day and then marriage the next day after that and then something else? Or do they have a pattern? Is there a trend that we can follow so that we can boost them in that particular category of content that they talk about? When it becomes unclear and you're kind of all over the place and you don't know what your market, or not your market, but your message and your mastery is, it makes it difficult for your videos really to get seen because there's no clear pattern or trend. So here's someone I want to share with you who I believe has done an amazing job at trending for a certain thing, and then she expanded her brand, Mari Smith. Many of you know who Mari is. This picture is way, 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 way back. And I was following Mari everywhere she went because I was just enthralled with the way that she talked about Facebook. She was the Facebook queen. She still is today. She's built an entire business and brand around Facebook. And actually, at this time, back, I don't know how many years ago this was, but at the time, some of you may know this. Robert, I know you were there with me back in the day. You were doing marketing and business back then. But Mari used to have a signature color. It was her blue that really people recognized. Everywhere she went, she was wearing a blue, some type of blue color. It was everything. It was all in her branding when it came to her social post. When she was on the stage, she was wearing blue. There were all these things that she was doing to build a recognizable brand. But the trending topic and the thing that she had as her theme was Facebook. And it still, again, is today. She is known as the Facebook queen. So I want you to be thinking about that for your own business. What is it that you really want to be known for? And how can you create a brand and build your brand around that specific expertise and topic? So again, tip number one is to get clear on your message and your mastery. What is it? What is it for you? If you're known as the ... what comes after the ... for you? And if you know what your ... is, type it in the comments, in the chat. I'll be looking. All right, we're going to go to number two. So here's number two. Number two is to identify your market. Who is it that you're speaking to? Who do you want to talk to? If you're not talking to them right now, who is it that you really feel like, look, these people, I resonate with these people and they resonate with me. I feel passionate. I feel joy when I'm around folks that are in this specific area or arena, right? Who do you want to have in your space? What lights you up when you're talking with this particular audience? How do they light you up and how do you light them up? Because look, here's the thing. The more that you put yourself in a space where you feel empowered and you feel joy and you feel enthusiastic about talking to this group of people, the more they're going to give you that same energy back, right? This is one of the reasons why I absolutely love my community over in the Video VIPs group, because they are those type of people, right? We feed each other. I give to them and they give to me emotionally, right? On top of everything else. And sometimes we need that, especially in this moment, especially right now, having that human connection really does matter. So who is it that you really want to be in your space? So thinking about your market is key. Let me give you an example here of someone who I believe really resonated with me, and she is known for this specific topic. Marusha, do not kill me that I'm putting your picture up here. But Marusha Murphy. Marusha Murphy is the owner and founder of Perky Coffee, but she also is the owner and founder of Create, Sell, Impact, and a couple of other businesses for that matter. But what she absolutely loves to do and she's good at, she enjoys, she's passionate about working with people who have a desire to build community and to build network, right? So she works with people to create a space where they can thrive and help others to thrive as well. She's a community builder. Her audience is very clear when it comes to that business. So I wanted to share her as an example for this. Let's dive into number three, and let's talk about number three. I didn't mean to do that. Let's blow this back up. Number three is define your method. Now, I want to get into some things here. So listen up. And if you haven't been putting questions and comments into the chat, then here's your chance to do this, right? Defining your method is all about how you do what you do. And at some point, this could be the biggest differentiator for you and for your brand above and beyond everything else, because there may be others in your field that have a similar market. There may be others in your field that have a similar message and they master the same field of expertise that you do. But when it comes to differentiating your brand and who you are, And when people are choosing you versus the other person, what they're looking for at times is your method. The method is how you do what you do. So I'm going to share an example that we all can relate to. I think you all know who she is. I do not have a picture with her, but you know who she is. Miss Oprah Winfrey. Perfect prime example of someone who is known for her method. The way in which she goes about doing her interviews has made her a powerhouse, has made her known for being so real and so authentic. So you just imagine when you have the 1, 2, 3 punch, you've got the clear message and mastery, the clear market, and then you have a method that only you can put together and only you can share because it is born out of your unique experiences. It is born out of your personality and all the things that make up who you are. That's when you really are showcasing yourself to be a powerhouse brand. So I want to dive a little bit deeper into that exact thing right now, because here's the thing that I like to talk about. There's something, and some of you may be familiar with the term archetypes. Okay. Archetypes, if you think about it this way, because a lot of us love the Marvel superhero movies, right? You think about a villain, a hero, a damsel in distress, a male in distress, right? What they all have in common is that they are archetypes. They are representing shared patterns of human experiences, right? And one of the things that I absolutely love about this concept is that it really is, it's a symbol, it's symbolic. When you think about archetypes, I want you to think about symbols. I want you to think about settings. Want you to think about similar storylines, but it's actually a representation of a common pattern of experiences, right? Now, one of the things that I'm going to be talking about in the May 15th class that I talked about is video branding, but using archetypes. The reason why this is such I'm going to say it's an innovative way to go about thinking about your video marketing is what I often hear. I'm going to say this, okay? And I'm going to be really transparent with you. What I often hear is, gosh, Tanya, I love your visual. I love how calm you are. And I love how you come off on screen. But I will tell you, I was not very confident about getting on video initially for a number of reasons. One, because like many of you, I was thinking, I can't do it like that person that I'm looking at and admiring on the screen. I can't be them. And you're right. You need to operate fully in your own strengths and your own experiences. And it's going to take some tweaking. It's going to take some failing. It's going to take some falling down. What I loved about when I first took the branding with archetypes assessment that Kendall Summerhawk shared with me, because I went through her certification program years ago, what I recognized is that in doing so, I started to discover a pattern of certain types of phrases that I could use. I started seeing a pattern of things that felt comfortable for me. I started seeing a pattern of marketing language and even colors and tonality and fonts that I would use in some of my branding for my social posts. I started seeing things that felt like, you know what, this is where I operate in my power. And so what I'm going to be doing in this class, where we're going to talk about branding with archetypes on May 15th, is I'm giving you a preview of a strategy and approach that I'm going to be using with my coaching clients. I use it right now with my one-on-one coaching clients, but I'll be using it in June 7th's launch of the group coaching program. So it's just a preview, it's a taste. And the reason why this is key that we start off that way is because many of you are struggling with this idea of, how do I present myself in a way that is unique for me, that gives me power, that shows me as the brand that I want to be perceived as, that differentiates me from the crowd and helps me to stand out, but be fully operating in my unique brilliance. And all of those things I believe you are capable of doing. And you can do it on your own, but I love shortcuts. So if there's something I can share with you through that process, I absolutely want to be sharing it with you. Now, we do not have the page up and ready yet, but I will tell you when we do, we're going to share this with our group first. So the Video VIPs community, but you can DM me for details. So if you're on my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you are, feel free to reach out and send me a message. And for those of you that are in the Video VIPs community, I will be on tomorrow talking more about this and answering your questions and sharing a few more details. But we're also going to talk about trends in video because there's a lot, like I said, that's coming up. Let me go ahead and check for comments. And then I also want to do a quick recap of the 3 points for your video branding, and then we're going to call it a wrap. All right, let's see. So what are you on now? Michelle, I think you might be asking what platform I'm using, and I'm actually using Restream right now at the moment, restream.io. So if you need access to that particular tool, you can find it. Here's my personal link at tanya.click/restreamio. Let's see, we got some other comments here. I want to share Robert's show. So here we go. It's the Storyteller Show. It's on Wednesdays at 1. Robert, I think that's 1 Eastern, but if I'm wrong about that, let me know. All right. Can't wait. Hit me as soon as it is out. I will definitely let you know, Michelle. We're going to be talking about it tomorrow, and I'll share more details on how to get connected. Wonderful. I know that a couple of you have shows as well. Michelle, you have I think it's Mondays, something about managing time on Monday. So put that title in here if you're still on with me live so I can make sure to showcase that too, because I want people to know about your live stream shows. Look, there is room for you. If you're thinking about creating your own video brand, there is space. There is space for every single one of us. We don't have to compete with each other. We can uplift each other. We can encourage each other, and we can empower each other to be great and to put more positive energy into the world, into the space with our voices. That's why I love to talk about finding your voice through video. I found mine through video. It was the last place I thought I'd look. It was seriously the last place. All right, I'm going to recap real quick on some of the points that we talked about tonight, and we'll get ready to wrap, but I will check one more time to see if you have comments or questions. And look here, if you're watching the replay, type hashtag replay so that I can make sure that I come back through and scan and I recognize and acknowledge you, because I appreciate you watching, no matter if you're here with us live or if you're watching a little later on. I want to make sure to personally acknowledge you and let you know that. So type hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. So here's the 3 tips to refine your video brand that we talked about this evening. We talked about getting clear on your message and your mastery. What are you talking about? What is the topic that you share on your videos so that it's clear, not only to you, not only to the people that are in this video, but in future videos and for the algorithms for the different social spaces where you're taking the time to put your content? How do they know what your content is about? Number 2 was identify your market. Who are you talking to? Who's the audience that lights you up? So you can light them up in return and help them to be better and to be at their best, right? Who is that? And number 3 is define your method. How do you do what you do? Do you do what you do? That could be not only what we talked about in terms of archetypes. And to give you an example, I'll share with you a little bit from mine, right? So I am an explorer and a hero, right? Let me pop it up here. And these are cards that I actually make available to those that are part of the class, the training. But I am an explorer. And so one of the things that I absolutely love to do is to discover deep fulfillment, freedom, and authenticity, right? And it shows up. My number 1 signature type is hero. And let me read that. To achieve grace by triumphing over adversity. And there are so many other descriptors that are inside this card that I recognized in myself, and it empowered me to be able to overcome some things like being on camera, right? The fear of being on camera and using certain phrases and words in my marketing material that would really express who I am on a deeper level. That's what I want for you. But not only is it about the archetypes, when we talk about this whole defining your method, it's also about your process. It's about your formulas. It's about your step by step blueprints that you share with the people that you work with, that becomes their solution to a pain point that they've been suffering from. And only you can deliver the solution in the way that you deliver it. This is a part of your method too. So even if you never joined or become a part of my class, understand that there are certain things, there are systems that you're using that are helping people to achieve and overcome certain roadblocks and obstacles. And the more clear you can be on that method, the more likely you are to really showcase your brand in a way that's going to attract those people to you that need you the most. So I get super excited about talking about branding. I literally can talk about it all day, but I know it's time to wrap. So I'm checking out. Okay, I got one more thing. Yes, ma'am. Michelle is sharing her show, which is Monday Mastery Moments every Monday. And she puts out a video in the morning on Mondays to get your week started off right. So, Robert and Michelle, thank you so much for sharing your shows. And I know, Michelle, that you love to do podcasting. So, the things that you love to do, it may not be video, but I will tell you this: video opens up a whole new world because people get to know you, they get to see you. They see your facial expressions. They see your hand movements, all the things. I don't know why the sun is popping through at this odd hour of day in Texas, but it is. But they get to see all the things, right? The authentic you, the mistakes, the mishaps, but also the wonderful nuggets and light bulb moments that come up. They get to see all of that and hear all of that through video. So that's the reason why I love this form of media. But anyway, if you've got questions about that and you want to know more, absolutely get in touch with me. Make sure you DM or simply share something in the comments and I'll reach out to you. It has been my pleasure to serve you once again. Come back, make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow wherever you are watching right now, your favorite spaces. I would love to stay connected with you. I'll be back here on Thursday of next week, like I am every week. Same time, sharing and delivering a message that hopefully will simplify how you're using on camera content so you can serve more people and sell more of your services. I hope you have an amazing and incredible rest of the week and that you and yours are abundantly blessed. Take care and good night.